Almost 1,000 wildfires start in Alberta every year.
We're leaving stock and all. Everything.
Each year, fires blaze out of control across the province, burning thousands of hectares of land.
I'm devastated for all my neighbors because we didn't lose our house. We got everything, but they've lost everything.
Businesses and homes in the fire path are sometimes threatened and sometimes destroyed.
I lost all my baby pictures. I lost all my antiques. Everything, my playpen went up in there. I don't even have a bed for my child. I have no clothes for them, no food, no money now.
Wildfire can and does strike indiscriminately and without warning.
There was just burning branches flying through the air, the wall of flames coming from over here. And from not thinking that it was much of a concern to suddenly realizing, holy smoke, the whole place is gonna go. I gotta get out of here. It was just a matter of half a minute.
It's a town on the run, forced to flee their homes, choked by smoke and fear. The flames are merciless to those who are unprepared. And no matter how it got started, when wildfire reaches out for you, there is no time for preparation. Are you ready? Wildfires can move at ferocious speeds, as much as 7 kilometers per hour in heavy forest cover, and up to 17 kilometers per hour in open woodland and prairie environments. You can't outrun a fire, let alone turn around and fight it effectively. You've got to be prepared. In rural areas, fire and disaster services are often far away, and 10 minutes can be an eternity. When fire suppression crews do arrive, public safety is their first priority. If your home has not already been made FireSmart, there may be no time to save it from the onslaught of an advancing fire front. If your property is destroyed by wildfire, it's very likely that without adequate insurance, you will suffer a financial loss. It's up to you to insure your own property against that threat. In fact, if you are found responsible for causing a wildfire, you may very well be required to pay for the cost of fighting it, as well as losses incurred by neighbors.
And the fire like this is so huge, so big in the emotional impact that it kind of takes a while before you realize what you lost.
It's not a very pleasant picture. Today, more and more Albertans are living in forested areas that put them in close proximity to Alberta's forest woodlands and prairie. This increases the risk of fires being started by humans and places more people in the paths of potential disaster. As a homeowner, you can reduce damage and loss from wildfire, possibly avoid it altogether by following some of the precautions suggested by the Alberta FireSmart manual. Wildfires are a fact of life in rural Alberta. But there are things that you can do to help safeguard your home and property. There is no guarantee that you will not incur fire damage or be burned out by a raging firestorm. But you can reduce the risks.
If a fire came through again now, 4 years later, there is no way that the main house, the house that we built, could burn. In fact, the fire wouldn't get anywhere near it. There's simply no fuel. It would burn the old trees that burn in the fire that are now dead standing, and they only come within, they don't come within 100 yards of the house. Some of the log cabins are still susceptible if a fire like that came again, but it's less so than before because we did do some FireSmart things around those cabins.
Some of these preventative measures cost very little and reduce fire dangers by a great deal. Others require planning and a long-term commitment to change. Let's look at 3 areas that could tilt the scales in your favor should a wildfire strike. In 2001, when a series of devastating wildfires swept through a number of Alberta communities. There was no time for prevention. 22 homes were lost. The most important thing to remember is that any kind of vegetation, mature trees, shrubs, grass, even your woodpile, is nothing more than fuel to a wildfire. Their beauty and practicality vanish in the teeth of an advancing blaze. So let's start on the ground. The first 10 meters of space around your home is the most critical. It's called the first priority zone. In order to give your home a firefighting chance, remove any shrubs, trees, deadfall, or wood piles from this area, and keep your grass mowed and watered. From 10 to 30 meters out from your home is the second priority zone. Trees and debris that would support ground fires or help flames climb up into the forest canopy should be removed. The third priority zone begins 30 meters from any structure and extends to a distance of 100 meters and beyond. The idea here is to thin the area so fires will be of low intensity and more easily extinguished. And of course, having taken these safety measures, one must maintain them. These are simple economical steps which anyone can take to create a FireSmart home or business site.
The horses, I had to let them go.
In 1999, high wind and extremely dry conditions helped create a season of destruction in Western Canada. Wildfire razed these homes to the ground, leaving nothing but burnt-out basements and brick chimney flues. That's why our second set of precautions deals with building materials, construction techniques, and home maintenance. The most fire-resistant roofing materials are metal, asphalt, and ULC-treated shakes. Untreated wooden shakes and shingles provide ideal fuels for roaring wildfires. But even if your plans for re-roofing are years away, it's still valuable to ensure that your existing roof is free of combustible debris. The building exterior requires the same considerations. Materials such as stucco, metal, brick, and concrete offer superior fire resistance. Logs and heavy timbers are less effective, and wood and vinyl siding offer very little protection. Closed-in eaves and screened soffits are better than those left open or unscreened. Decks and balconies should also be closed in and kept free of combustible debris. Lastly, windows and doors should be made of fireproof or fire-resistant materials. In 1997, a spectacular prairie fire cut a swath through southern Alberta, burning homes, killing livestock, and destroying cropland. The fire had started in a burn barrel 34 kilometers away and was completely preventable. Our last set of objectives is aimed at not becoming the source of the fire in the first place. Your burn barrel should have proper ventilation and be well away from buildings and other combustible sources. Chimneys should be screened in with the appropriate approved spark arresters. Vegetation should be cleared well back from power lines, propane tanks, and fuel supplies. And of course, every home should have shovels, rakes, axes, garden hoses, and roof ladders to assist in suppressing any threatening wildfire. For a complete list of FireSmart suggestions for fireproofing your home, read the Alberta Sustainable Resource Development Manual, FireSmart, Protecting Your Home from Wildfire. For more information on fire-smarting your community, contact your local forestry office or Partners in Protection. Wildfires are just that. Wild, unpredictable, and dangerous. But by taking a FireSmart attitude toward the management of your property, building sites, and homes, you can reduce the risk of fire, fire loss litigation, and damage. It's up to you. And you should do it now. Because once the fires come, there won't be time.